Chris the Nightmare Ariel, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So let me give a shout out to Fighters Rep. I'm gonna leave his link in the description box. Please go over to his YouTube channel and subscribe to his channel. He did an interview with Malik Scott, and he was gracious enough to let me use his interview in this video. So with his permission, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just play the interview. Malik Scott is talking about Luis Ortiz, and how, he never viewed Luis Ortiz as the boogeyman. Although it, it seems pretty, it just seems like nobody really wants to get in there with Ortiz. We had the Usanov fight get called off. Nobody really seems to call him out. I think Ortiz is one of the top heavyweights. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this interview play, man. Malik Scott, his own words. They got the fight coming up next month. I'm going with Luis Ortiz, and I've been posting a lot of videos about Malik Scott, his training footage, and people, they ask me why am I putting up his videos. I mean, just to let you guys, to show you guys that these guys are training. And sometimes for big heavyweights or just heavyweights in general, they can get lazy sometimes. So to me, it's always a plus when these guys are in the gym, they're training, and they're putting it up on their social media to let the fans know that they're not just sitting on their ass. And Malik Scott, when it comes to being an outboxer and having good footwork, good head movement, a fast combination puncher, a fluid fighter on offense, and when he transitions to defense, I think he's a solid fighter. I know a lot of fans, the Deontay Wilder fight and the Chisora fight, it leaves a bad taste in some of the fans' mouths. They just didn't like the performance from Malik Scott. But I've seen Malik Scott perform well. The Glasgow fight, the Tony Thompson fight. I've seen him have some success in the ring, man. But here's the interview. I'm out.
Opportunity for me to fulfill my goal. It just so happens that Luis Ortiz is the guy that I'm fighting. So people call him the boogeyman, but coming up as a kid, I never believed in the boogeyman. I never believed in myths and scary. I just actually went and seen a horror film yesterday, and I laughed through the whole thing. So the whole boogeyman thing and the whole myth thing of everyone is scared of him, that's them and their issues. You know what I mean? I don't fear no one but a spirit, and that's the spirit of God. So, and it's a fight, and the best man will win November 12th, and I believe it's going to be me.
What movie was it that you were watching yesterday?
I went and seen Luigi.
How was it?
It was scary. It was more it's a difference with me. I like actual horror films, so it have to be horror of something that really can happen in real life. So we'll say something like the movie Saw. That movie is not scary to me. It's more nasty. I don't want to see nobody dig into their own stomach or cut their own. But suspenseful scariness and horror, I like that kind of stuff. So Luigi was good, man. Especially I was there 1 o'clock in the morning, so it was just me in the theater. So the whole mystique and the ambiance was real cool.
You're seen as an underdog going into this fight, but when I look at the resumes side by side, I see very similar competition, similar level of competition. And if anything, I mean, you've been in there with better guys, for instance, Deontay Wilder. Why do you think he's seen as such a favorite in this fight?
Well, we live in a world of perception and not too much of reality. That's number one. And the perception is he knocked out a guy that I just got finished beating, Tony Thompson. And Tony Thompson is 44, 45 years old and won 5 rounds with him. If you look at the certain components of the fight, you actually see Tony was touching him. Then you'll see a young, stronger guy in his prime, Brian Jennings, was having more trouble with him than Tony was. So when you put that together and you say, well, how did he just walk through Brian Jennings but didn't walk through Tony Thompson? That's because different fight, different night. Different opponent, different night. Different styles, different fight. I have the style. Everyone know I stay dressed down in defense. And, he's going to have to work for it. This is not I'm not like them other guys that he's been fighting that's going to stand right there on that straight line and you hit me with your best shot. It's not going to happen like that. But it'll be a blessing to me if he's thinking that it's going to happen like that, because he's going to play right into my hands, going with all the hoopla and the big contract signing and all that. None of that shit means nothing, because at the end of the day, this is still a boxing match. This is still a fight. So the promoters, where the fight at, who's training who, it's between me and Luis Ortiz, and whoever won it the most is going to win November 12th.
Now, I would imagine based on like your size, your own power, and the technique, the things I've seen you doing online, especially with Bernie, since you've been with Bernie, I would imagine that you're probably the most complete guy he's fought at this point.
Yeah, I would say, especially when you talk about technicalities of boxing and decoying and shooting down and shooting up and looking down and shooting up. Right, you know, I'm a pugilist specialist when it comes to in the ring. I mean, I have my faults, just like every other fighter. I have my loopholes, just like every other fighter. But I'm constantly in the gym all the time trying to fix those loopholes, and that's what separates me. You know, when people criticize and when people talk of this, that, and the third, I take my anger out in the gym. When I'm not able to get a fight when I won, I take that frustration out in the gym. When my weight is getting up, I'm in the gym. My life revolves around boxing, nothing else, nothing else. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm in the gym trying to continue, you know what I mean, perfect my craft. So.
Now, I mentioned you're probably going to be the most complete guy he's fought at this point in his professional career for sure. Is he the most complete fighter you've fought?
I'll say this, he has the best pedigree. Because I'm big on pedigree, and his pedigree shows, what, 350 amateur fights?
Yes, sir.
Something like that. I mean, you can't, that's a priceless pedigree. You can't buy that. As far as a professional, see, I don't know how to make things up, and I'm a very candid guy. So I would be lying if I said Luis Ortiz hasn't impressed me. He has. What he has done is took the trash out in an extraordinary manner. If you give him trash, he takes it out how it's supposed to be taken out. So you can't knock a man for doing what he's supposed to do when, you know, they put the opponents in front of him. We the fighters, we don't pick the opponents. Well, some of us do. You know, them other guys. But he's an impressive southpaw. Like, you know, but all of that is what makes me gravitate to wanting to fight him. This fight has been spoken of. I put this energy in the air months ago. I've been calling this guy out ever since they was crowning him before he deserved to be crowned. So, you know, God gave me what I want. Now here's the stage, and I've got to perform on it.
You seem to approach many things, from what I've seen just on social media. This is my first time meeting you, but you seem to approach them in an unconventional, artistic way. How do you think that's benefited you so far and will benefit you in this fight?
Everything is art to me. Life imitates art. The way you hold in the camera, the way you got your hair, the way the grays on the side of your haircut, the way you everything is artistic.
Thank you for noticing that.
Definitely, man. So I don't, what I don't do is I don't deify nothing or no one but God. If I'm going to get a cup of coffee, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. It doesn't matter who's the worker there, where's the coffee from, this and that. If I'm coming to the gym with Bernie, we're going to work hard. It doesn't matter who's it. I'm fighting Luis Ortiz. Guess what it is? A boxing match. Like, you know what I mean? The artistic thing is that everything around it can create it to be something else. And this, that, and the third. It's a boxing match that I'm going to win November the 12th. So everything, there's not nothing that I look at